Celeb Savant is a career retrospective type interview focusing on singers, actors, and industry experts. Join Barrett Edelstein now as he dives into the entertainment world.
British Emma J. Webber is fast becoming one of the UK's most magnetic public figures, rising from forklift driver and single mother to an international beauty queen representing the United Kingdom at Miss Universe 2027. She has transformed her life with a determination that audiences instantly connect with. A survivor of domestic violence, Emma J. has turned her lived experience into powerful advocacy, using her platform to champion safety, empowerment, and visibility for women rebuilding their lives. Her pageant journey, marked by titles including Miss World International Woman, has positioned her as a standout voice, redefining what modern pageantry can represent: authenticity, strength, body positivity, and unapologetic womanhood. Offstage, Emma J. brings that same grounded charisma to BCFM radio, where her late-night show has become a trusted space for real stories, community connection, and heart-led conversation. As a charity trustee, she continues to push for meaningful social impact, proving that her influence extends far beyond the crown. With her star rising and her message resonating across audiences, Emma J. stands as a modern British figurehead, bold, relatable, and rewriting her own narrative in real time. Up next on Celeb Savant, we've got Emma J. Webber. Where in the world are you and how are you doing?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm in Bristol in the United Kingdom and I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm all good, all great. Thank you so much for asking. Let's dive straight in. At what age, whether as a child or teenager, did you want to be in this world of being a public figure, being in the creative media space, and how did that journey progress?
Well, if I'm completely honest, it's not something I ever actually wanted. It was a opportunity that came to me and I felt like a great responsibility to use and speak up. So I fell into pageantry about 8, 9 years ago, just completely by luck. And it's all taken off from there.
When you say you fell into it, how did you fall?
Well, my background is all about football and sports. Never worn a pair of heels in my life until about 8 years ago. And in 2016, sadly, my marriage had come to an end. And I was literally Googling how to improve your self-esteem on the internet, scrolling through loads of information, and I came across an ad for a beauty pageant, which was the last on my mind at that point. But I was seeing these images of these girls and them public speaking, and they were wearing these wonderful dresses. Ended up getting the title of Miss Bristol and to my first national finals, which was in Kent. And I placed first runner up in my very first competition. And then from there, it then exploded. It was a beauty pageant called Miss British Beauty Curve. I went on to internationals, which was Miss International Curve.
So what part of being in this world surprised you that you did not realize would be part of it and is?
I love it is a huge sisterhood. It really is a beautiful, positive environment to be in. There's something really powerful about being in a big group of like-minded people, and in my world, in like-minded women. Each and every person that stands on the pageant stage has their own story, their own struggles that they've overcome, and they are using that to help others. And that's what I fell in love with. A lot of people don't realize that actually 12 months before you step on stage, you're involved with kind of workshops and social events and fundraising and community work. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just about that final stage in swimwear or in evening wear. or in fashion wear, that's just the final celebration of a year's work.
So, all these steps pre to the event, which
Mhm.
ones have you found challenging and which ones have you taken to without even thinking?
The ones I've taken to without even thinking is I was slowly using my voice and using my platform. And so speaking out about my own experiences and then working with local charities. So I am a trustee for NetSlink, which helps survivors of domestic violence and abuse. And it was incredible to see that just by sharing my story, that it touched and helped so many others. And that just came naturally. And then once I realized what was happening, I then kind of zoned in and wanted to use my voice and set up campaigns and really, really use this amazing opportunity that's come to me. Of what can be difficult with it is a lot of work. It's non-stop. I have two children as well, so I'm kind of juggling parenthood as well as organizing fundraising events, kind of getting involved in the community and interviews, as well as the preparation for the final competition as well. Yeah, it can be very challenging. And sometimes it can feel quite heavy, especially when you are talking about quite sensitive subjects in terms of advocacy and body positivity and things like that.
A lot of people, whether they're consciously aware or unconsciously aware, they self sabotage themselves in all areas of
Yes.
life, whether it's in the exercise, whether it's the office, whether it's stepping out, because there's a fear of being out of their comfort zone, A, and also I believe there's a fear of being seen. So now that I'm stepped in the space, people will see me, people will acknowledge me, people will know my story, people will look up to me, and I'm now accountable to do the next steps and be seen and doing all these other bits and pieces that you already referenced, like the charity work and all that kind of stuff. Have you ever felt that you have self sabotaged yourself from being successful because of any of these areas? As part one of the question, part two, what advice would you give to someone who's afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone?
I am absolutely guilty of self sabotage from time to time. I'm only human, we all are. And sometimes I kind of fall into oh my gosh, am I good enough? Or am I, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Like I'm around imposter syndrome is really hits me sometimes because I'm in these events with all these incredible people and I'm like, hang on, like I'm just me, kind of I'm just here, but I have to remember why I'm there and what got me there. And of course, in terms of I have my days when I have my self-doubt. Um, that's when you need to remember you're only human and it's gonna get like that sometimes. We all do it, but we just need to recognize that we're doing it and make sure have those daily rituals, have those daily affirmations, make sure you're speaking kind to yourself. But it is definitely work in progress. And I think it's something that is always going to be there.
A lot of people now, especially in the public eye, are speaking out about their traumas and experiences in what they've gone through, whatever that may be. How important is it for you to believe, think, and say that people should voice what they've been through in order to assist and help others as a mirror?
Definitely. And I mean, the first thing I would say is for people to use their voice if they are comfortable in doing so, rather be an observer or even maybe use your experience to help in the background. For example, doing some background work in a charity or fundraising, or, you don't necessarily need to be in the public eye and you don't necessarily need to use your experiences to help others. But for those that do, it's really, really important. Firstly, it was it was actually healing for myself to actually speak out and connect with other people that had been through a similar experience. There was a huge part of my story being validated by that. Secondly, my experiences as real lived in experience is what people can connect to. And you've walked their shoes, like you've spent a day in their lives, you know exactly, how to reach them on a humane, a spiritual, like a deeper connection because you've been through the same things. And I think it's extremely important to kind of speak up and just make life better and hopefully prevent things like this happening moving forward.
What do you enjoy about being in the pageantry world?
I absolutely love the sisterhood of it. I'm not sure if anyone remembers kind of Girl Guides or Brownies, if they still runs. For anyone that's not within the industry, I describe pageantry as glamorous brownies or glamorous Girl Guides. It's the best feeling to be part of such an incredible, empowering group of women who just want to have a positive impact on the world. I firmly believe you are your environment. So to put myself or for anyone to put themselves into such a positive environment is only going to bring positive things into your life.
It's quite interesting you say that about the sisterhood because the media specifically likes to put especially females against each other, successful females and, oh, they're fighting,
Yes.
and all this nonsense. In your space, have you seen that people try to do that in your space and, project that battle of women? And if so, how have you guys overcome it?
Great question. And yes, we get it all the time. You always see in the media pageant scandal or scandal at Miss World or scandal at Miss Universe. And they like to paint the picture that we are, I mean, yes, we are competing, but we are genuinely happy when one of our pageant sisters, when it's their time. For some reason, the media likes to put us up against each other, like in like a catty kind of environment that we're kind of tearing each other's hair out. It's society issue as well. I would go further to saying that that's what we kind of put out in society, that we pick people off against each other when there's room for all of us. And there was lots of media articles recently, especially with the most recent Miss Universe. And there's also a book out in terms of called Misdemeanors and lots of negativity around the industry. But what we do as an army of women, regardless of what pageant system you belong to, whether that's Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss Grand, Miss International, we all help each other. We all read from the same hymn book and we're all constantly putting a positive step forward and making an impact and making a difference. So if you know someone in pageantry, I would guarantee you they would only speak positively of the industry.
What's coming up over the next period of time? Emma, can you tell us all the different things that are happening in your space?
Yes. So I will be competing next May in Orlando. So the next 12 months are going to be very, very busy. I am looking for sponsorship. I'm currently working with local charities to create fundraising events, lots of networking, interviews, photo shoots, press, magazine articles, all in aid to promote my platform, which is ending violence against women and girls.
You competing May 2027 in what?
I am representing the United Kingdom, so I'm Ms. United Kingdom at Ms. Universe next May in Orlando.
So what does it mean to have the title of Miss UK for this pageant?
It is such an honor, and I still pinch myself to be representing the United Kingdom at Miss Universe against right? The top 50, 60 women from around the globe. It is incredible. I struggle to put into words like what an honor it is. And I feel like I have so much responsibility in doing so. I want to do such a good job, not only for myself, but for my sponsors, for my charities, for my friends and family, but also because I'm representing the whole of the United Kingdom. I want to bring that crown back to the UK.
All this work that you do to lead up to the event, does the pageant organizers look at all the people who've entered and see what they've done in the various spaces to lead up to the event? And does that count towards the end result on the actual day of what's been done to lead up to the day?
Yes. So your community work, your charity work, what you do as a public figure actually counts for about 25% of your score overall. Yes. So it's not all down to aesthetics and what you do on the final day. But yeah, 25% to a quarter of your score is about your impact on the community, what you're doing for your platform, what differences are you striving for, what changes are you trying to make in the world, which is my favorite part of pageantry is that 25%. I do love the final event, which is usually over 4 days. You have like an interview, you have swimwear round, you have fashion wear round, and you have the evening round, which everybody associates with a pageant. But then, yeah, 25% is the background work of what most people don't realize that you have to do.
For anyone who's thinking about entering this world but is not 100% understanding of it, isn't quite sure, what advice would you give them?
Definitely reach out, speak to a pageant girl or somebody in pageantry. Most of us are absolutely approachable. Just hit their inbox or contact them on socials, or even contact a pageant system itself. So speak to the organizers of Miss World or Miss Universe or, you know, Miss Bristol. There's so many pageants, not necessarily all at top tier. There are kind of medium level pageants and even charity level pageants that you can get involved with just for fun. Definitely speak to people within the industry and don't necessarily listen to the negativity that you see out there on the internet.
Emma, the podcast is listened to throughout the world. As a final message, what would you like to say?
I'd like to say thank you so much for having me. And for anybody listening that is interested in pageantry, that modern pageantry is not what it used to be. It is now about female empowerment and making a positive change in the world. And for anybody that has any self-doubt about themselves, to know that they are absolutely beautiful just the way they are, and just to keep positive and making great steps for your future and sprinkle some sparkle and happiness around.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Celeb Savant. Please follow Barrett on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Celeb Savant. That's CelebSavant.